So I decided to post a video on making gumbo. So it's 1 part flour, 1 part oil. Got some oil in my big pot here. This pot is full of love, full of seasoning. So I'm letting it warm up, and then we'll add the flour and we'll begin to stir the flour to make the roux. Ready? All right, let's see. Yeah, that's good. So 1 and 1. So a cup of flour to a cup of oil. And I wanted to get to a little darker than a peanut butter. Actually, I want it to look chocolate. So what do I have to do? I have to keep stirring it to make sure. Now here's the thing. You have to stay on it. You can't walk away from it because you don't want your roux to burn or to scorch. Because then that's your whole foundation. That's your whole base. And your gumbo will taste scorched. If you've ever smelled or tasted some gumbo and tasted burnt, that's why. They didn't keep moving it. And so the whole purpose of the roux is the thickener, right? It's the base, it's the foundation. It makes everything what it needs to be. And that's so ultra important. Because if this part is gross, the rest of it will be as well. And we don't want that. All right. It's looking a little tan. A little tan. Slow and steady. Not too high, not too low. Remember, a little darker than peanut butter. This is one of my favorite pots. You only want to use a cast iron if you're not making anything acidic. So nothing with tomato sauce or tomatoes, nothing with lemon or limes. And true gumbo doesn't have either. Okay? Slow and steady. And a little darker. This is the hardest part. Because after this, you're just going to start dumping all your stuff in there. The last thing will be the actual meat and seafood. This is how you marry the flavors. But you see? Peanut butter, right? So we want it a little bit darker than peanut butter. And then we're going to season the roux. And add in the veggies. And put in the stock. And you let that cook down some. And you season it all the way through. And then you're going to add your seafood. But, you see that? And the other thing that the roux does, when you're taking your time and getting it the color that you want, it's actually cooking the flour so it doesn't have that floury taste. Okay, this is going to be the longest and the hardest part of it. All right, a little bit darker. Now let's go ahead and add. And I cheated. I bought pre-cooked vegetables. I did that. And I'm not ashamed. I'll do it again. And I don't feel no way about it. I didn't feel like cutting them up. And my sous chef was at work. So I began to season the roux. See, it's a little darker than peanut butter. Yum! So I've added in some bay leaves and some gumbo, and I've added in my stock. So to make my stock, I use some hard cut onions, peppers, celery, and then I added in, I keep shrimp shells, and I keep crab shells and fish heads and things like that. I keep that in my freezer. Make my stock, strain it, keep it in the freezer for whenever I need it. Okay. Now I've added my smoked sausage. Most people use andouille. It's a little spicy for some of the taste buds here, so I just did a regular smoked sausage. I'm going to let that cook down for a while because it won't take long for the seafood at all. I'm going to put my seafood in. I want this all cooked down, and we shall have a little gumbo. Stay tuned. Oh, look at that. It looks so good. It's going to be beautiful.